Hi, it's Roya. It's been, I think, a few weeks since I did my last video blog. A lot's happened since then. We were supposed to sign our contract. We haven't done it. We're still in the process. Um, but a lot's happened since then. And I think there were just things that happened throughout the process with my husband and I and with the agency that it just kind of, stalled it a bit. Um, and also, I started thinking, you know, what kind of video blog do I want to have, right? I know it's about our journey and our experience through the surrogacy process, but I wanted to know, do I, how much should I share, and at what point am I sharing too much, right? Or is there such a thing as sharing too much? Is that the whole purpose of what a diary is about? Is to be able to just express yourself, your emotions, your feelings, whatever is happening. Um, uh, Regardless of if it's bad or good, you know. But at the same time, I don't want it to be like a bitch fest. I don't want it to be an outlet to vent. And I definitely don't want to put any damper or negative image towards my husband if we're having a fight over this whole process, right? Or even a little bit of it. Um, you know, so I asked myself, like, how do I want to approach this? What do I want to do with this? And the more I thought about it, I thought it's important to share, of course, share as much as I possibly can, keep it real, be very raw about it, emotionally, and just express what I want to express and how I want to do it. And just leave it at that. Just take it naturally, right? If I want to vent, I'll vent. And if, you know, I want to say great things, those are the best, right? So anyway, so I figured that out kind of. I guess I'll still continue to figure it out as I go along, right? When things come my way, obstacles come my way. Um, so one of the things was negotiating a contract, right? So one thing I learned is during our issue that Greg and I had was figuring out boundaries within what responsibilities each of us have. Um, where, okay, so basically, one person's supposed to be responsible for a certain aspect of this process, and and I didn't have these boundaries. I didn't quite know how it worked. Um, and so I would put in my 2 cents, or I would, want to, but then, part of me says, listen, I'm putting in my 2 cents, but at the same time, I kind of want to be on the same track with him. Like, I want us to be on the same page. The problem is that we didn't really communicate any of that stuff before we started this whole project, right? Um, Looking at the contracts, like we kind of did, but we really didn't communicate the way we should have. So it would have prevented argument or prevented us having such a disagreement on our certain styles of how we do things. Um, so that's really important to know. Communication is key. Learning that as I go along. As if I should probably already know that. Um, anyway, communication's key. But one thing I did learn though is, I don't know if you are an intended parent or you're thinking about it or you're deciding whether you want to do independent or go through an agency. And if you have thought about going towards an agency and you're thinking about certain ones, it's really interesting because, you know, you could actually negotiate your contract with this agency. I mean, maybe it's common sense to some people, but I didn't think so. I thought they provide you this agreement and you sign it, but not necessarily, which is great. So you can actually, they'll be able to work with you on some of your restrictions or concerns and so forth, and you guys could come up with a new contract, really. Of course, there are some things that they won't budge on, which makes sense. And really, bottom line, pretty much, agencies don't want to have any responsibilities if anything goes wrong, if it's beyond their control. Makes sense, right? I mean, I get it. I totally get it. That's really what they're. I mean, they're not going to say, "Oh, because your surrogate ended up being this certain, personality." They're not responsible for that, even though they picked her. But I understand the concept. I understand how it works. So anyway, if you are thinking about having an agency, it's great because you have the ability to negotiate with them, and it ends up working out really wonderful, you know. And that's really pretty much it. Oh, and on another note, my brother, who's my younger brother, it's his first time having a baby. So I'm going to be an aunt. I'm very excited, and it's going to be a boy. Really exciting. A little happy dance, a little happy dance. Anyway, it's going to be a little Christmas baby. It's going to be really excited. Can't wait. He's going to be beautiful. Um, anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much it. We're still in the process, again, of this contract. I think this week they should have this contract available for us to sign finally. And then next week, next 2 weeks, I should start the process, you know, of starting the whole matching process. That's going to be really fun and really exciting to share and see how that develops. And that's really pretty much it. Uh, yeah. So I will post another video soon and keep you guys posted. All right. Have a great night. Bye bye.